class, we are going to cover what an MLA paper looks like. Okay, let's start with the title of the paper. So you want to be sure that your title is centered in the middle. Okay. Also, be sure to have your page number up here. Have your name and number. To number the page, you must hit insert and hit page number here. Also, you must put your name here. Let me fix this, by the way. You put your name here, the teacher's name, your period, and the date. And when you do the date, it must look like something like this. All right. So, when starting a paragraph in MLA format, you must indent your paper. So when you press the button Tab, it does this, indenting your paper. So do not hit the space button multiple times. Also, you must set your font to New Times Roman. So you must go to the font and find Times New Roman. Also, the paper must be at 12 for font size. Not more, not less, at 12. Also, it must be in black ink only. Also, in MLA format, you are expected to double space. So to double space it, you must go and hit this and hit double. Also, when starting a new paragraph, be sure to hit Tab again, thus indenting your paragraph. Also, always put a space after a period, comma, or any punctuation. Once you have finished typing your paper, just end it with appropriate punctuation, and then you are finished. All right, now we're going to talk about how to cite your source. When citing your source, it should be put in a certain order, starting with the author, title of the source, title of the container, other contributors, version, page number, publisher, publication date, as well as the location. Now, when using websites, for example, you might not find a page number, or it may not even provide an author, or even a version. However, you must put it in this order. So let me show you an example. As you can tell, Works Cited is centered on top of the page. As well, when having your Works Cited page, it must be in a page on its own. So look at these examples here. Try to observe them. So let's look what the correct format looks like. All right. So you notice I put my number here, the page number, and it has my name here. Now, if this was a group project, just put your group here. All right. So I put my name. There's the teacher's name, the period, and even the date. Notice how I double spaced it? Look, I even centered my title and indented my paragraph. Now, when doing essays, I would want you to underline your thesis, but we'll cover what a thesis is. See, here's another paragraph. I must have hit the tab button, because see how I indented the paragraph? See, this is correct MLA format. Now look, I went on the other page, and now it says buyer 2. Now, let's look what sources look like. This is an example of an in-text source, or an in-text citation. My apologies. Notice, when using this source, there must have not been a author, but that's okay. So I used the title of the website instead. Same here. But you could tell on this sentence, there is an author. So I'm going to use the author's last name for my in-text citation. See, here's another paragraph. Hit tab to indent it. And see how I'm providing plenty of in-text citations? This is what I'm going to expect. Alright, see? Now we're on page 3. Alright, so this is what I expect. So now let's go to works cited. See? There must have not been an author when using this website, which is okay. So I use the title. And then I use the publisher. Same here. But when using Britannica, you should be able to click on the link, and there should be a way for you to go ahead and copy this into MLA format. And see how I provide the URL? That would be the location. This doesn't look right. This looks incorrect. Why might you think that? Do you think you can find 3 reasons at least? Tell me. Well, here are some of the reasons. Look, I am missing some information. I am missing the teacher's name, but I'm also missing the class period. The date is not in correct order either. You have to start with the day, then write out the whole month, then the year. Also, look at the title. The title is not centered. Also, what do you notice? Do you think I hit the tab button when typing this? No, I didn't. So it's not indented. Also, does this look like Times New Roman based on the font? It looks like there's various fonts. That's not good. Also, it's not in black ink. Here, it's gray. Plus, is this double spaced or single spaced? It is single spaced. And see, look at my in-text citation. That's not appropriate based on MLA standards. At least I provided the location where I got my citation. Nevertheless, this is not what is expected. And C, even my cited page is not good. The works cited page must have its own page. Also, C, this is not the appropriate way when providing your citations. Providing the link itself, you must still give credit to the author if the author's name is there. It must be in correct order. And here, I don't even provide a link. So this is way too vague when sharing your sources. Project. So this is called Rubric, Egyptian versus Mesopotamia, Comparative Essay. So remember, this is going to be a group project. So you could be creative and give yourself a group name, a really creative group name. It doesn't matter. And then you put your teacher's name, then the period, then put the day, the month, then the year here. And also, you can have a creative title as long as it pertains to the Egyptians and Mesopotamians. So here in the introduction, you must provide a general sentence, such as a topic of the essay. In this case, students will be comparing Egypt and Mesopotamia. Be sure all ideas are going to be mentioned. For example, one idea you can have is how geography affects Mesopotamia and Egypt. Think of two more, such as social structure. When writing, avoid using I's and U's. First and second person. Except in the conclusion. That's when you can speak more casually. When typing the thesis, underline the thesis. An idea. Discuss how the essay's purpose is to make a comparison between Mesopotamia and Egypt. So, for this paragraph, it'll be talking about the first main idea. Have your topic sentence, then your supporting sentences. And when you're supporting your sentence, you must have a citation, an in-text citation, okay? That is how you'll make a justification. So maybe when you talk about the geography of Mesopotamia, use a source. And then when you're talking about the geography of Egypt, use a source. Then explain that connection. When you're explaining your connection with the sources that you already provided, that's when you don't have to provide an in-text citation. And at the end of the paragraph, you must have a concluding sentence. But be sure that paragraph is connected to the thesis. Now, the first paragraph could either be a similarity or a difference. I'm not going to be too picky. But the rest of the paragraphs, the other paragraphs, I expect differences. So be sure to have a transition leading up to the second main idea. Same applies for main idea 3. And see, here's the conclusion. You can summarize what everything is said, connected to the thesis. It can also have questions in it, point out the complexities of the subject, or mention the roadblocks while working on this assignment. Remember though, do not plagiarize or cheat. Please at least attempt. If you follow the rubric, you should be fine. Be sure that everything you share is factual and that when you provide your citations, it's in MLA format. And be sure to structure your paper in MLA format. And your thesis must be connected to every paragraph. And try to avoid grammatical and spelling errors. So here's the outline. The outline should be able to help. So I'm going to give you a hint. When you go to your partners, but because of COVID, you must social distance. So you're going to have to actually type in the comment section here, probably add a comment. Or you can do this and press this, add a comment. Or suggest edits. This is how you should be able to communicate with your partners. That's a tip. But be sure to divide it up to make it easy on y'all. Maybe have one member work on one paragraph and another member work on another. So if you have a group of 3, do 3 different paragraphs. And then after that, decide what your thesis should be and your conclusion. I hope this makes sense. So now, let's talk about how to cite a source. I'm going to use an example. Alright, so I used ThoughtCo and I used Fast Facts about Mesopotamia. So, I found some information that I wanted to use. However, I needed to provide a citation in MLA format. So what I'm going to do is highlight this. Press Ctrl C. Now, I am going to use one of the tools here that's available online. Scribber.com. Alright, so as this loads, let's go ahead and press Ctrl V. Now, press the search button. Now, click on this. Alright, so we know that it's a web page. Here is the title. It even already goes ahead and puts the URL. And look at that, it even provides the name of the website, ThoughtCo. However, it's asking for authors. Now, is there an unknown author? Let's check it out. Let's go up here on this article. It looks like it's by N.S. Gill. So let's go ahead, highlight that, press Ctrl C. Alright. Ctrl B. Okay. Let's take this off. I'm going to put Ctrl X. Now Ctrl B. So now we have placed the author's name in the correct location. So now, is there a publication date? Let's check real quick. It looks like it has been updated in February 4th, 2019. So, Control C. Alright. I'm just going to put it here. So now I know 02, 04 for the day. See that? And 2019. Alright. So now, let me hit Cite Source. Isn't that awesome? Look at that. It provides it in the correct format. And I love how it automatically indents it. So I can click to copy. And see, now it's copied. So, for example, let's see if it pastes correctly. Nope, it didn't, but that's okay. So when I'm here, I press enter, then tab. Because remember, this is your works cited page. But see, at least it's in Times New Roman, which is good. And it's in the font size is 12. So I don't have to worry about it too much. See, it does everything automatically.